Welcome in, Carter. Hello, Francis.
Welcome to the fucking show.
The man said, "Welcome to the fucking show."
That little great clip there.
Thanks.
Welcome, Carter.
Hey, welcome to the fucking show.
What show is it?
Sip in Sports.
What do we do
Episode-
here?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Carry the 1 minus the 2. 5.
He nailed it.
We drink and talk about sports. And I am enjoying a glass of wine tonight.
That's a tall glass. I'm sure there's some female country singer out there somewhere that is very envious of you.
It's not very good.
Why don't you tell the people what it is you're enjoying tonight?
I don't know. It's some kind of red wine bullshit. I don't know.
You got some Courvoisier or
No, it's I'm gonna have to go look at the bottle. I think it's Apothic Red, I think. It was in the
All right.
it was in the not in the refrigerator. It was in the cabinet. It's not even cold. I don't know if you try. I don't know the wine guy. Okay, look, it's alcohol I got in the house. I didn't want to bust out the Jackie D, and this was the next best thing.
Good enough.
but we don't like to bust out the Jack D, but sometimes we like to jack the D, don't we?
Yes, we do.
We all do, right? We've all been there and done that.
But sometimes it's nice to have a little
Sample.
Dickel in your life, a little George Dickel.
Ooh.
Okay.
Well, I've not really had that. I'm one of like the few people on the planet that's never had George Dickel.
It's a good sipping
haven't
whiskey, I've heard.
Dude, the one I want to try more than anything is the Pappy Van Winkle.
Yeah, that's about couple $1,000 for a bottle of that.
That and the Sinatra Jack Daniels is very high priced.
Yeah.
Well, this is Sipping Sports. This is Trenches right up here. That's Mr. Carter right up there.
Where?
These right there.
Oh.
And we're here to talk some sports while we sip. We had the NBA Finals tonight. Or, when you hear this, the game will have been over for about a good 12 hours or so. But,
Yeah.
Hey, Denver was a pretty heavy favorite. I think you had to bet. I heard earlier today the Vegas you had to bet $800 to win 100. That's pretty heavy favorite, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you guys do that? Did you lay 800 to win 100?
I did not.
Yeah, Denver is a pretty heavy favorite, and they pretty much took care of business. They handled Miami pretty good, and I don't know, Jokic. How do you say his name? Every time I say it
Nikolai
1,000.
Jokic.
I've heard Jokic. Every time I say his name, I say it a different way, so I can't.
Just call him Nicky J.
Yeah, that'll work.
Now we know Denver's most likely going to win this thing, but are y'all rooting for Denver or are you rooting for Miami?
I was rooting for Miami.
I'm good with Denver because Denver's never won one before.
Y'all know.
I was pulling for Miami, but just because of one reason. I mean, Jimmy Butler's got the Ty Gurley. I mean, I think I'm going to root for Miami.
He's representing. It was a good solid. Last time I saw it, it was like a 14-point lead. Game ended. That was like with a minute to go. So I don't know.
104-93.
Yeah, so all right, yeah.
But
that was in Denver, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. The Heat did make NBA history tonight. Do y'all want to know how they made history?
How's that?
They hit a new NBA record. 2 free throws the entire game. They only had 2 free. Yes, they attempted 2 free throws. That is the fewest ever.
Wow.
So does that mean Denver was playing just like ultra clean ball?
Either that or the refs weren't blowing the whistle against Denver. So
They're really good at threes and perimeter shooting. They don't really.
they ain't got a lot of good low post players. They're more
Yeah.
like saying perimeter.
Yeah, Jokic he's like spinning and he's just, if you've never seen him, the guy's like a wizard. He's
good.
He's smooth. He don't look like he would be smooth, but when he plays, there's just a smoothness to his game.
He's a smooth operator.
Yeah, yes, he is, and no pun intended. Really good. So yeah, we got game 2 coming up, I would imagine, on Sunday. I love the NBA playoffs in the early, just like March Madness. The opening week is really outstanding, and then it slows down. I mean, I'm glad we're at the final. I mean, hell, it seems like Denver hasn't played since like January. They've been waiting on their opponent for fucking a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. Because Miami, as we all know, or you may not know, in the Eastern Conference Finals, got out to a 3-0 lead over Boston, and Boston storms back, ties at 3-3 with Game 7 at Boston. You're thinking
the Heat are done.
Yeah, the Heat are done, right? Boston's going to do this, and what happens? Miami goes in there and blows them out.
And Boston won that Game 6 with wasn't it a buzzer beater layup?
Oh my God, it was dramatic. It had everything. You had tightly contested. Jimmy Butler goes to the line with literally less than 3 seconds to go. He drains 3 3-pointers or 3 free throws. You're thinking Miami's got the lead. There's no way Boston can do this. Boston takes a last-second shot, misses. Guy comes in out of nowhere, gets the rebound, taps it in. Boston wins. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how Miami just. That's the thing about like us as fans. We get into it like we don't understand it like athletes do. They don't get phased like we do.
Yeah, to me, if that happened to my team, that's just a motivator, killer, deflation. Like you'd think Game 7's over for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I had a question for you two guys because y'all watch wrestling, right? Like I'm not a big wrestling guy.
Mm-hmm.
Francis more than me.
Yeah, who's the biggest superstar in wrestling right now? Y'all would say
Brock.
You're saying Brock,
Roman.
Now
yeah, not all time.
I'm on social media a lot. I don't see either one of those guys anymore. I would argue that AEW has a guy by the name of MJF that might be the biggest world superstar on social media right now.
He's popular.
Every third stream is that guy. Is he
He's
really
good.
that good?
He is. He is a generational talent on the mic. He's one of those guys, like, he's so scathing. You know what I mean? Like, are you familiar with him at all, Carter?
Dude, no. I have no idea who this guy is at all.
He doesn't shy away from cursing, I'll tell you that.
The only thing I can compare it to, and don't kill me if it's not the best comparison. Remember how CM Punk was so just vicious on a mic? You felt like he was really letting back, stuff
unveiling some shit,
that you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
That's how it feels with MJF every time he gets on the mic. He'll like bring up in 2024. I can't wait to watch Tony Khan and Vince McMahon have a bid war for me. He goes out there and says that stuff. He's like, I can't wait for the bid war between WWE and AEW, and I'll go where the money is. He says those kind of things, and he makes everybody go, wow, I can't believe he really said that. But he does. He's great on a mic, and he makes you believe. He blurs that line of reality, and
he breaks that fourth wall for sure.
Yeah.
So I saw one where it was a recent one. He had some guy sitting next to him who I think's a higher up, some skinny
that'd be
Middle
Tony
Eastern
Khan.
guy.
Tony
Okay.
Khan.
And he literally looks at him and goes, sorry, I've already beaten the shit out of all your fucking guys.
Yes.
And I'm just like, holy shit. Like this guy, they literally said you have zero filter, do what you want.
Yes. Yes. He he makes it awkward on camera, backstage. I think, he's pretty well liked amongst his peers in AEW, but he definitely he's got a mouth on him. He's really good on him. He's the best mic guy in the game right now.
He's called MJF, right?
Yes. Maxwell Jacob Freeman. And he plays the ultimate douchebag. Like, he comes out wearing the scarf and he and the fans just love to hate him. And he's just smug and he's
Where's he
arrogant.
from?
I think he hails from it's like he's one of those rich assholes, like from Newark, New Jersey, or somewhere in the Northeast.
Like Hunter Hearst Helmsley?
Yeah, one of those type guys. Nose in the air. I'm better than you. Kiss the ring kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's really good. Now, he's a good wrestler too. He's not one of those guys that suck in the ring and then are just really good on the mic. He's talented. But he's a smaller guy. He ain't one of those big. He ain't, Hulk Hogan or something.
Yeah.
So he has to. He's really good. If you've never seen him, it's worth a watch.
As far as technicality, like as a wrestler, is he good?
He's good. He's good. He can put on a 5-star match.
Here you go, Carter. I'll give you a taste of how he sounds.
Best fucking 4-way match. Fucking triple check. But people are still going to hate. They can't help themselves. I mean, I get it. Who the fuck wants to look in the mirror and go, yeah, there's a 27-year-old child who's the best professional wrestler in the world when I've accomplished close to nothing in my fucking life. So I get.
Man, every time we share screen on here, it's always giving me issues. But definitely take a listen to him, Carter. I haven't heard somebody this good on the mic in a long fucking time. Like that, to me, he surpasses Connor. Connor was, like, to me, the GOAT of my lifetime as far as mic stills. This guy's ridiculous.
Yeah, he has no fear. He'll rip on anybody at any time with no repercussion whatsoever. He has no fear.
Thank God we got Cranges here because, that's our wrestling guy right there.
Well, he's still on the way up, right? He hasn't, even though he's champion now, he is still ahead of the curve a little bit. He's going to be, especially if he ever makes the move to WWE, they'll make a freaking big star out of him.
And see, that's kind of what I want. Like, I don't know. To me, if it ain't WWE, like I don't know if y'all. I never could get into what was it? TNA. I never could do it.
Mm-mm.
But I remember thinking man, I wish this guy would come to WWE, and that's what I'd like to see with this guy for sure.
They'd have to pay him some Roman type money because this dude's going to be every bit worth it.
I guarantee they will if they think he's worth it.
WWE will back the Brinks truck up.
Yeah, I don't follow any wrestling accounts or nothing on social media, but he pops up constantly. So I'm guessing if they take him from AEW is going to take a big pitfall at that point.
Yeah, like AEW has. You're sorry if we're spending too much time on this, but I do have a take on it. I do watch wrestling. I'm not the biggest fan in the world by any stretch. I don't watch indies. I am kind of an elitist, pinky out. I'm not sitting around watching, GCW or something. But AEW started out great. It was organic. They're putting on pay-per-view style matches on Wednesday nights for regular TV for the first 2 years of their existence. But then they've made the mistake the WWE did several years back. They got their roster too big, and they're just scooping up all these, ex-WWE people. And now they're starting a new second show. Maybe it'll get better, but they got AEW Collision coming up in a couple of weeks, and CM Punk is going to be their feature. But it seems like I've tried to watch it for years, and I just can't. I'm just a WWE guy. Always have been, and
Yeah.
it's pretty much the way it's always going to be. And WWE, they've went through ups and downs. They sucked 2 years ago, but they're kind of on a way up a little bit. They're kind of having another mini renaissance, so to speak. They're putting on really good pay-per-views now. You know, Raw and SmackDown might not be the best week in and week out, but their pay-per-view, I'd say their last 5-6 pay-per-views, other than the second night of WrestleMania, have been top notch.
Nice.
So we've touched on wrestling now. We've touched on the NBA finals. Trenches, don't you want us to do a little something we did last week that I really enjoyed?
Let's do a draft. So the way this works, if it's your first time watching, this is our second time doing it. I'm going to pick a subject. We're going to draft, and we want you guys to comment who won the draft and if you would have taken something different. We're going to do top 3. We might increase it every now and then to a 5-pick, 3 or 6-pick, but right now we're going to do 3 picks. We're going to do best sports logos of all time. So the criteria here is not just what you enjoy. Like, I'm not going to be like Georgia, Braves, and Saints. I'm not going to do that.
Whoa.
You could do most iconic, what really just you think's a cool looking logo, whether it's your team or not.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to win this.
Huh.
Okay.
So
Who gets to go first?
Whoa.
Who wants to go first? Who wants the number 1 overall pick?
Me.
You do?
Yep.
That makes 2 of us, Carter.
Almost need to cheat a little bit. That's a big topic there.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Rock, paper, scissors,
Yeah.
go. Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, go. Cheater.
I closed my eyes, dude. All right. I don't even think you were going to take this number 1 overall. I just think it's one of the sickest logos. It's been around for a while. There was a whole era where you saw almost everybody wearing this logo. Number 1 overall pick, I'm going to take the Chicago Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
Carter, it's on you, man.
That's not what I was gonna pick, but now you got me thinking.
I can give one if you need a minute to stall there.
No, give me the New York Yankees logo.
Oh, it hurts to say it, don't it?
Yeah.
I get why you picked it. They
That
were in my
hat-
top 3.
I mean, you know, it's
Yeah.
iconic. You know,
It's
the
everything.
NY. It's like, you know, super iconic.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to see if you guys get it. I'm going to throw this clue out there, and I bet you guys get it right out the chute.
All right.
I've never watched hockey a day in my life. Really, not seriously.
The coolest logo in all of sports. Go ahead and take it.
I hope
Red
it's
Wings.
No, it's the
No.
Blackhawks.
No.
well. I do agree with you, but the one I was going to go with, one of the most iconic that I remember seeing, and I'm gonna go one further. It was popular in hip hop in the 90s and
Okay.
The Penguins.
LA Kings, baby.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
LA Kings.
Well, now you get to go again.
Yeah.
Ooh. The pressure. Oh man, there's something. I've always been a fan. Damn, Trench has got me with the Bulls. That was going to definitely be one of mine. Hey, you know, I'm a '90s baby. I love the Knicks.
Okay.
It's nothing, you know, outstanding. It's just colorful, and I don't know. It's just an iconic logo to me.
Did not think that pick was coming out. All right, Carter.
Give me the star, Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, you took my next pick. All right.
Really?
Yeah, that was going to be my pick. Shit.
America's team.
I'm going to take a pick. I'm going to go into the world of baseball, and I'm going to take a pick that, once again, if you're real, You like this logo because it's fucking gangster. Give me the White Sox.
Oh wow, yes, yes.
All right, third overall pick. I'm gonna take what I thought you were gonna take, which is my by far. Ooh, yeah. I'm not. Gonna, I was gonna take another basketball one, but I'm gonna hold off on that. My favorite logo in all of sports. Give me the Blackhawks.
Well, okay. All right. I haven't done an NBA team, so give me the Lakers.
Lakers are iconic.
That's a good one.
And there's all my picks. You got one more, Rangers.
I do, and I'm gonna be a homer. There's something about when I roll into Jordan Hare, and I see that big AU.
Oh man, you've already lost this one.
I love it. It means a lot to me. It hits me
The
right here.
interlocking AU.
The interlocking AU. Those Auburn Tigers, baby.
All right,
Just wait till we win the Natty this year.
So I took Bulls, Sox, and Black. I went all Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, Carter, would you take?
Carpetbagger?
I
I
didn't
took
even
the New
think about
York. I took the New York Yankees, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Los Angeles Lakers.
Great picks.
Big Matty Daddy would be proud of you.
No, but it ain't the Cubs. It had to be the Cubs, not the White Sox.
I can't pull that logo.
So he's a South Sider. Old Trenches here.
Had to mix my water there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Little lemon.
Yeah, exactly. Lemon juice and water. It's
I
good.
get it. Maybe put a mint leaf in there. What were your picks again?
Oh, I had Auburn. I had Jesus Christ. Oh, the LA Kings. And who was my second one? Help me out there.
You said it was an NHL, and I forgot who you even said.
Oh,
the
no,
Kings.
the Kings was
Kings.
The
yeah.
Knicks. The Kings.
Knicks. You got to be one of the worst pickers on this one. I'm sorry.
I don't. Yeah, I agree. I mean, come on, the LA Kings are badass though. There would be a lot of people that argue with you about the LA Kings.
Blackhawks,
now, the other two,
Red Wings, Bruins, those probably take the cake over the Kings.
I picked America, baby. I picked America's football team. I picked America's team in the Yankees.
All right, so I didn't really realize that this was a competition. Okay, now I wanted to put the Cowboys in there.
He already took them. He took them second round. Yeah.
That's
why it's smart to stay away from college when it comes to iconic
yeah.
Because it depends on what state you are. You're going to see different things. You know what I mean?
I looked
Even
up. Though I just looked up top 50 sports logos, and boy, some of
I really
these
just thought Carter was going to do the power T, so I was going to try to match him.
He's trying to win this.
Okay.
Wow. Georgia Tech's logo made it in this.
That's a bullshit logo. Though.
Yeah, I can tell you.
Oh, wait. Is it the yellow jacket or the GT?
The yellow jacket.
That yellow jacket during the 90s was everywhere.
Yeah.
Especially on the starter jackets. Y'all let us know in the comment section who won and who would you have rather seen in that list.
I'll send you $1 million super chat if you elect me as the winner.
Crane just wins. All right, what do I get?
Now I'm at the commenters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Comment as soon as this shit comes out.
Can I piggyback off that?
Yeah.
Because I heard Georgia Tech, and I'm kind of trying to, well, not intentionally. It just made me think about one of the things I wanted to talk about. Who do you guys consider your biggest rivals in sports? Your favorite team?
Well, we're all going to go college.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
That's
Me
fair.
and you are going to agree on the same team, Granges.
Yeah.
You mean trenches?
No, y'all are both going to say Bama.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Florida. To me, it goes Florida, Auburn. I'd probably put Tennessee there because
Yeah.
Georgia Tech hasn't been competitive in so long.
I was going to ask you guys because I really thought Carter was going to say Florida. For some reason, I thought Florida was Tennessee's biggest.
No,
They're in their top 3, I guarantee it.
yeah, they're number 2.
Yeah. And then 3 is what, Vandy?
No, 3 would probably be Kentucky
There's more hatred for Kentucky over Vandy?
because of basketball. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Does it carry over into football though? That same.
Oh
passion?
yeah. Oh yeah.
I can't fathom
Well, hang
that.
on. What about you? I know you Bama's number 1 for you, right, Grandis? Who's 2 and 3?
It's got to. I mean, it's got to be Georgia and Auburn.
Come on, it's Bama, Georgia, and like LSU or something.
LSU.
Yeah. LSU. I can't. My brain was scanning for teams in the West.
You need to slow down that lemon mint water.
Yeah, it's kind of getting to me a little bit.
So I've always wondered this. So me and Carter are both East guys. You're a West fan. Where does Ole Miss? Yeah, where does Ole Miss rank as far as your hatred? Is it even in the top 10 at this point?
No.
Wow.
No.
I think I hate him more than he does.
Well, we know Bama hates him a lot just because of coach to coach. But I was wondering if Auburn has any of that. Like, there's teams like Arkansas, Georgia.
They hate us
because we don't give a shit.
They hate us because it's just so happened to work out that we've hired 2 former Ole Miss coaches in our in fairly recent history.
Yeah, that is true.
Tuberville said, I remember he did a press conference. This was obviously 20 plus years ago, but he said, the only way I'm leaving Ole Miss is in a pine box. That motherfucker was at Auburn like a month later. Hugh Freeze, whatever you want to say, how he left Ole Miss or whatever, but he finds his way to Auburn. We'll see how that.
It's already paying off for you guys as far as the transfer portal.
He's done well. But I wanted to ask you guys, when it comes to rivalries, we have Oklahoma and Texas coming in, and I heard a segment on the radio today where somebody was interviewing Jimbo Fisher, and it got me to thinking, and I wanted to ask you guys. The interviewer asked him, said, who would you consider your biggest rival? And he went on to talk about Texas.
Yeah, that's
that. But see, if you ask Texas,
A&M,
it's Oklahoma.
It's Oklahoma. So
yeah,
what I'm wanting to ask you guys, is there somebody out there that considers you their biggest rivals, but you don't really consider them?
Tech.
Vanderbilt.
I figured it's the in-state bullshit. Like we run through them, saying like he's got Vandy, I got Tech. You don't have that yet. That one at some point in time it'll switch, and you'll have that.
I figured you would say South Carolina, Trenches, because that game is early in the season. It's like always the third game.
I'll be honest with you. Now that you said that, I hate them more than I hate Tennessee. I would rather lose to Tennessee than lose to South Carolina. And it's basically the same reason with Florida. Spurrier has made us hate that team with a passion.
It's amazing it still carries on to this day.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I saw they were doing some kind of like college golf tournament, and Kirby was partnered with Spurrier. I was like, fucking poor Kirby.
I'm sorry if I didn't hear Carter's. What would be Carter's?
Vanderbilt.
But you have hate for Vanderbilt. So is that really?
Yeah, but you said who's
that little gnat that you? It should be Vanderbilt, but you've said yourself to me in Trenches that it's pretty real. Like y'all really hate Vanderbilt,
and Georgia really hates Georgia Tech. I mean, that's real too. But the question that I got,
that's fair.
Yeah, well, the question I got from you was who considers you their biggest rival, but you don't consider them yours, and that's Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is a rival, but we don't hate them like they hate us.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, we could, as far as they think we kick babies and steal, money from grandmas and stuff, I mean,
dude, the more I'm thinking about it, I might put Auburn at 3. I fucking hate South Carolina. It might be Florida.
They are annoying. I fucking
can't stand that team.
I still know a couple, but I don't. It's like one of those weird phenomenons. I knew a few South Carolina fans when Spurrier was there,
Yeah, they too.
and boy, they got cocky, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't
They're
tell.
cocky now. They literally think Beamer's gonna like bring him to the promised land. Like
Oh yeah.
they're shit talking like crazy.
Yeah.
And
They think they were thinking they were Bama in 2011, dude. They were thinking they just reloading at this point.
We
They,
beat Tennessee. Like who fucking has it, man? Like come on, calm down.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I think y'all choked up against them a few years ago too.
We did.
Oh!
Rainy game, and Jake Fromm can't pass for shit. It was a rough one.
Nice retort, Carter. Nonchalant retort.
We lost by a field goal. What'd y'all lose to?
I mean, you know, we lost our quarterback too.
Who did they
You son of a bitch.
Who did they beat after that?
They beat Clemson
Clemson, that's right, in the bowl game. No, that was the end of the year, and then they lost their fucking bowl game.
to Notre Dame. Yes, they lost to Notre Dame.
That's what I'm saying, man. They're such a shit program. Like, even when I root for them to beat teams like Notre Dame, they can't fucking do it.
All they're there to do is landmine somebody's season, like Tennessee last year. That's all they were good for.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't good for shit outside of that.
They're one of those, like, they're going to have one game that surprises everybody each year.
Yeah.
That's it. The problem I see with that is, like, all right, so this year, Georgia handled Spencer Rattler pretty easily. Tennessee's going to figure out a way after what they just saw last year to handle Spencer Rattler. Who are they going to surprise? They're going to take out Florida, which no one's going to be shocked by?
Don't they play Bama this year? No, I don't know if they do.
Mm.
That'd be nice. Oh, well, I can tell you. Hold on one
I was going to say,
second.
what is their out-of-conference games? We need to figure this out.
I got it right here.
Or West games, I'm sorry. Not out-of-conference.
All right, so South Carolina. They are playing North Carolina, Furman. They're playing Mississippi State and Texas A&M. So
They could go 2-0 there.
they
Let's
got to
be
play
honest.
at A&M too.
Okay, 12th man, that's tough, but Jimbo, let's be honest, is not the fucking guy. Mississippi State is losing a good little chunk, and they weren't that impressive last year.
They've lost. Hell, their coach.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah. They're not going to be good.
No, they're going to be bad, and I honestly, they could go 2-0 against their West. So maybe A&M is their good win this year.
I'll say this. This is the spot where Jimbo can rebound and like he's, everybody's got a bad taste in their mouth from what he did last year. And he's rode off and watch that motherfucker come out this year.
Yeah, but dude, did you see how many people like mid-season were getting the fuck out of there? Like, dude, he lost. Like, he didn't lose Dion numbers, but he was up there. Like, he lost an ass ton last year.
Yeah.
All those big recruits he brought in to break the record, fucking see ya. They left quick as shit.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, the media is high on them again this year. I'm not saying
they're still talented.
Yeah,
they can finish
still got
third. Let's be honest. I'd pick them to finish maybe at best third in the West. I don't think they're beating LSU and Bama. LSU's that team this year that they were.
Yeah, LSU's going to come out of media days. If that means anything to any of you guys,
Yeah,
they're going to come out as the favorite in the West this year.
Really, you think so?
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
They got the most experience at quarterback. Yeah, and coming off a great season. Yeah,
Brian Kelly's going to go back to Atlanta this year. I don't think he could beat Georgia in Atlanta if Georgia goes or Tennessee, whatever. But let's say he even does it and he wins the West 2 years in a row. He's made a hell of a statement right off the rip.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's doing that going into the realignment. He's going to be a coach to watch out for.
Carter always reminds me of repetitive shit that I always say. And I've been saying since LSU hired Kelly, he's going to be a problem. He's going to be a problem. He's a good coach. I mean, he took shitty Notre Dame teams. Now, granted, when they finally ran up against somebody that was good, elite, they got beat. But those were some shitty Notre Dame teams he took to the playoffs and won. until he got to.
I mean, dude, the 1 year he went there, the only player on the fucking team was the linebacker, Mateo.
Yeah. He went there, I believe. I know he play for it twice, and he appeared in like 3 playoffs.
Yeah.
So he's a good coach. I mean, those were not good Notre Dame teams.
And you make some good picks. I think last year you said a team was gonna 2-peat.
Yeah, now he says they're on 3-peat.
Then he's saying 3-peat. I'm just holding on him.
I mean, okay, honest take on that team. You can't just remove a guy like Bennett, and I think you're going to have a better quarterback, but I don't know if it's going to equal
the experience, the leadership.
Sometimes intangibles mean as much as stats do. I think Georgia's they're just going to be a little bit different, but they're still. I mean, the schedule is so bad. You're not really going to play one ranked team all year unless somebody rises up and is better than as expected. 2 teams. Georgia at most plays 3 ranked teams this year.
We'll play Tennessee for sure. Will be ranked.
Yeah.
Maybe South Carolina.
And if Auburn has kind of an uptick,
Ole Miss.
There's a chance Auburn could be like a fleggling top 25 team by the time we play. Yeah.
Carter's such an ass. No, but here's what worries me is the same thing you're talking about. There were 2 games in particular, especially that Ohio State game. The reason we won that game was Stetson's ability to get out of the pocket and escape a bad situation. Carson doesn't do that.
Yeah.
And that's what worries me when it comes to Georgia in the long run. Not only that, you got a kid who's never played a game going with a cupcake schedule besides like Tennessee and Ole Miss. What's going to happen when he goes to Atlanta with no experience off of a cupcake season and has to play a top 5 team? That's what really worries me. Like Stetson, we knew he was battle tested. This kid's not.
I want to hear it.
Go for it.
I want to hear who's winning the West and who's winning the East. I know who's winning the East. Rangers, Georgia, right? But who's winning the West? I'm writing this down. I'm dating it.
I mean, my heart wants to say LSU, but my brain. There's a reason why Saban's the best to ever do it. You can't bet against him. Watch that guy roll out. I mean, look at the championships he's won. Quarterbacks he's won championships with. Greg McElroy. Does he blow your skirt up?
Oh yeah.
AJ McCarron. AJ McCarron is probably the most solid quarterback all around. That I don't know. He's in the top 3.
Over Tua, Jalen, and Mac?
I think Tua was. I mean, the guy was made out of glass, dude.
Yeah, but look, all right, you're comparing Tua's whole career. I'd say Tua's college career, I'd take him over AJ.
But here's what I would offer you. AJ, two national titles as the starting quarterback. He always made those. He was like Stetson Bennett.
Who was his running backs?
He made those key plays.
Who was his running backs?
I mean, he had a stacked team. There ain't no doubt about it. Yeah. I mean, it don't hurt that Derrick Henry's behind you.
Yeah.
Pounding people to death. But he was solid. He wasn't a shitty.
No, I don't think he's shitty.
He was better than. Okay, here's one. Does Jake Coker ring a bell with anybody? Does he like?
Top 5.
Jake Coker. He probably wasn't even a top 10 quarterback in reality in the nation that year, but he was on the right team and he made the right plays. What I'm trying to say is he's good at winning with those game managers. He didn't win a title. Bryce, as great as Bryce Young was, did not win a title on his own. As great as Tua was, he never won one on his own. Now, he came off the bench at halftime in a game and caught Georgia by surprise, but he did not win one on his own.
Yeah.
So we're picking Bama? Is that what we're going with?
I'm going to believe in LSU this year.
All right.
I'm going to say Jaden Daniel. Is Jaden Daniels?
Yeah.
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 That I'm going to go with him at that. Brian Kelly is pretty good coach.
Trenches, let's hear yours.
For the West,
Well, I know who the East is going to be.
yeah, I'm sticking with Georgia for the East. West, I'll put my nuts on the table and not bat an eye. I think it's LSU 100%. And it's nothing like, look, like Cran just said, if we're talking coach versus coach, it'd be hard for me to put Georgia over Bama. Like, that's Bama.
Yeah. It's always risky betting against Saban.
But this is the youngest team he's had in forever. They
Mhm.
don't even know who their quarterback is. LSU is established. They're going to be a scary fucking team this year.
Yeah. Carter seemed surprised by LSU.
No, I'm actually not. I definitely think they're going to be the, team to watch. I just,
I don't know if I trust LSU enough to run the table,
No. I think they catch a
Yeah.
loss, but I think
Yeah.
Bama might catch two.
Yeah.
That's
Good
where I
point.
differ.
Great point.
I'm
Now-
looking at right now. I'm looking at Athlon's college football preview, which we're not going to worry about who that guy is, but
Now, who's your
and-
pick, though?
Who you got, Carter?
Yeah. I don't want to care about the magazine. I want to know what's in Carter's brain.
Yeah.
I'll probably go Georgia out of the East, and I will go Bama out of the West.
Can't go wrong with that.
Now, how about this? I'll take it a step farther. I think it's Georgia LSU. I think Georgia beats LSU, giving them their second loss. One of their wins is against Bama, but it was so close, Bama squeaks in at the 4th spot in the playoffs.
Yep.
LSU will be out. I think you'll have.
Yep.
Ooh, that's another thing we need to
That
bring
almost
out.
happened this year.
Yeah.
Bama could, but see, I don't think Alabama's going to be undefeated going into Atlanta. I just don't.
Oh, no. We all get that.
That quarterback situation is a little worrisome.
Yeah. On paper, Alabama, this could be a down year for Bama. On paper.
And in all fairness, Georgia might not be undefeated going in there. They could drop it. The Tennessee's at Neyland, and they could drop the Ole Miss game. We don't know. The question is, though, and I don't know if y'all want to do this now or maybe next week, who is our predictions for the playoffs?
I think next week we should do that.
All right.
You know,
So it gives
that's
time
a
to
good
think
one.
about it.
And we can deep dive a little more into this. We can go over like preseason Heisman favorites, all SEC. We could do the bowl projections, the whole thing.
Well, now that you got it open, though, we're touching on the topics. Where do they have each team ranked as far as like East and West?
Yeah. Okay.
You don't have to go to the bottom half. Just mention like the top two,
How about I do the top three?
All right.
Yeah,
I'll tell you this.
yeah.
I think Auburn finished as 4 or 5. I think they're really sleeping on what Hugh Freeze is doing right now.
Yeah. If I could, this is the first time in a very long time we haven't had. We always have a. Carter can share this. We're one of we're two. I think we're the only two teams in the league that have to play Georgia and Alabama every freaking year with no break.
Yeah.
And maybe somebody else I can't remember shares that same thing, but that's brutal
Yeah.
enough as it is. Looking at your schedule, you don't need like Penn State or, we don't need Southern Cal or Oklahoma. Everybody else does because we got to play either way. What I'm trying to say is I do for the first time. We still have Georgia and Bama, but we don't have that big marquee out of conference game this year. Cal, if you want to consider that, but that's usually the spot where Auburn would lose under Gus and the Brian Harsin. But I'm thinking maybe we win it. We could have 7 or 8 wins this year. That don't mean that we're a great team. It just means our schedule worked out good.
It also means you improve, though. That's the whole goal
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Hugh Freeze is going to be a problem for people, and it's going to take 3 years. We had dude, that transition between Gus leaving and Harson coming in, and we had two. It got bad, dude. Like we were getting out recruited by. I think we had like recruiting classes ranked in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of work to. There's a lot of
And
undoing.
let's not forget. I mean, I know we've been touching on a little bit with the West. It's not like the West is locked down right now for this year. It's kind of like you got your two teams to worry about with Bama and LSU. The rest is kind of wide open.
Yeah,
It's kind
you
of
got
feeling like
Bama.
a shift is happening again.
Yeah. Y'all are now where the East is right now. You got Georgia, Tennessee, and then who knows after.
Bro, I remember in the 90s, the East was the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And in the mid 2000s or so, it kind of shifted to the West, and it kind of feels like it's kind of shifting back to the East a little bit.
It's only one more year, though. That's it.
Yeah, that's true.
Then it is going to be the East that runs the shit.
Yeah.
And by the way, no disrespect to Tennessee. Georgia is kind of their king of the hill right now, right? Y'all have got that cachet, and that is a real thing. You've got that brand name. You're a household name now. You can lose to Tennessee mid-year and recover from it just fine because you're going to, at the most, if Tennessee beats you guys, you're going to drop 2 spots in the polls.
Yeah, but you
Well,
say that, but the problem is, though,
It's
is
the
if we
11th
lose to,
game of the year.
yeah, well, it's not even just that. It's if we lose to Tennessee, that means Tennessee was a really good team this year, so they might just drop the Bama game, if that. So they're already going to Atlanta above us. That's the problem. We can't drop that Tennessee game depending on what goes on up to it.
Yeah, I see what you're.
You can though. You actually can because honestly, in some ways, it might even be better for Georgia because think about this. Let's just play that game. Or hell, yeah, we'll just say you lose to Tennessee. All right, and Tennessee has one loss. All right, but Tennessee wins the East. Tennessee goes to Atlanta. Tennessee gets dominated by LSU or whoever, Alabama. Tennessee's second loss, they're done. Georgia, like, hey, we didn't have to play. That's one more game Georgia didn't have to play. And that's one more way that Georgia didn't have to risk losing. So Georgia's like, oh, we're good. Gucci, baby. 11-1.
Yeah, but the problem with that is we're going to get criticized like a motherfucker. Because think about it this way.
Yeah, but
This is the easiest schedule Georgia's ever fucking had. So our hardest game we dropped. That's
Wouldn't
the problem
matter.
with that argument. It's going to
Wouldn't matter.
matter when they have these debates. I guarantee it's coming up.
Yeah,
I
but
guarantee-
you're coming off the heels of 2 straight natties.
yeah,
You're going to
getting
get
in.
that. You're getting in.
Yeah, you lose one game. If you don't win your conference,
Yeah.
you're still getting in.
People hate on you. Who fucking cares? Let them hate on you.
Yeah.
You're going to get a lot of hate. Yeah, now you guys are king of the hill, and you're going to catch hate. It's
The
just gonna
only
come.
way you're not getting in, we'll play this game, is let's say, like the LSU, y'all are saying LSU. What if LSU goes 13-0, undefeated, they win the
Y'all
West?
beat them.
Well, no, I'm saying they beat us.
Uh-huh.
And Florida State goes undefeated, 13-0, ACC champs. And then, I don't know, maybe a USC goes 13-0, undefeated, Pac-12 champions. And then in that fourth spot, let's say Oklahoma or Texas goes 13-0, undefeated, Big 12 champs. Then I could say, okay, if you had 4 undefeated Power 5 conference champions, I could see them leaving a once beaten Georgia team out. But even then, it would be close.
So you would say, in your scenario, it'd be Florida State, Texas. Who'd you say? USC,
LSU and
LSU.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all this. Y'all know where I'm leaning. Who would y'all root for in that playoff?
Probably Florida. State.
Ellis.
I ain't voting for. Fuck you. I ain't picking LSU.
No conference pride.
Dude, don't even get me started on that. There is
I
no
don't
such
mind
thing as
LSU.
conference pride.
Yeah, I don't mind LSU, and I'll root for some SEC teams depending on who they're playing. But Florida State, man, I there's just a soft spot in my heart for them.
All right, I got to touch on this conference pride thing real quick. That's bullshit. Okay, so you're telling me that you want to see another team that you consider a rival have something that can hang over your fucking head. Hell no, bro. I don't want to. I'm sorry, Kurt Trenches. I love you, but I don't want to see Georgia winning natties. I don't want to see Bama winning natties. I don't want to see anybody that I don't like winning natties. Fuck you.
But
The only
you
team
can't
I
tell
care
me
about
there's
in the SEC is the ones with the 2 T's on their fucking helmet. Fuck the rest. Oh, they all fucking lose.
you can't
We
sit
don't.
here and tell me though that there's teams outside the conference that you hate more.
Fuck
Like
no.
if Tennessee is playing Ohio State, I hope y'all beat the living fucking shit out of Ohio State. I
If
can't
Georgia and
stand
Ohio
Ohio State.
State play, I'm picking go Buckeyes, motherfucker.
Yeah, but see, you don't have a hatred towards that team.
I don't, because I hate the teams I play every year a hell of a lot more.
My thing is, I hate firsts. Okay, one of the worst, two of the worst moments in my sports history have come fairly recently. I didn't want when Alabama hired Saban. I was enjoying that drought they were in. Like I was okay with everything they'd done before, but it started in what? When did he win his first one? 08?
09.
09? The first one is always the worst one. But after that, like now they've done 1-6.
You're just used to it.
It's like whatever, dude. Like at this point, what's the point in fucking hating that Georgia? Kirby coming to Georgia, and you could see it happening. You know, like they kept getting better and better and better. They were close. They were on the edge, and then he finally fucking does it, and it's like, this sucks. Well, then he wins the second one. It's like, at this point, what's the fucking point? What might as well win 10 in a row or something, you know? Like the initial hate is over with. I don't even care at this point.
All right, let me ask you this then. So all right, I get the whole conference pride for you, Carter. But when your conference is playing each other, there's a way you're leaning, right? Like when Bama and Tennessee played last year, I was glued praying Tennessee made that fucking field goal. Like there's certain situations where even though you're your rival, you want it to happen.
Was Carter praying Ohio State would hit that field goal?
Oh, guarantee it. I guarantee you.
All right, look
Like
at
they've
that.
won so much now, Carter. What's the point?
You're right. You're right. I get that. I do get that. But still, what you're asking me, it's hard sometimes because there's times, not lately, at least not, because of how bad Tennessee's been, but there were times where I had to root for Bama because I'm thinking about the East standings. I'm like, so if Florida and Bama are playing, I gotta hope Bama beats Florida because
that's
it helps.
different. That's different.
Okay.
I'm talking. It doesn't affect you at all.
Yeah.
But
Georgia,
I'm
Ohio
going
State
for
last
the underdog.
That Tennessee
Both
Bama
underdogs.
did not affect us one fucking bit.
Carter, Georgia, Ohio State last year, first round of the playoffs. Ohio State goes down the field. They're lining up to kick that last second field goal. Are you hoping that ball goes through, or are you?
Dude, when they missed it, I think I chunked my fucking headphones. Yeah, of course I voted. I wanted to Ohio State. That's nothing against Trenches here.
I know.
I don't even know where I pointed, but dude, I'm so happy for you, Trenches.
I pull for
There
Kentucky
you go,
when y'all
there
play
you go.
Kentucky. Like I get it because we know we ain't gonna have a problem with Kentucky. But if y'all lose to Kentucky,
some
that's
ice
just gonna
right
help
quick.
us get a little of a barrier.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. No part of me is upset that you picked Ohio State and you're wanting them to win it. I understand the hatred. My thing is there's certain scenarios where you pull for that team because you're like,
I've pulled for Georgia before. I mean,
right. But what I'm saying, all right. So like when y'all beat Bama last year, which we know Hoss and y'all are gonna watch this. I was pulling for Tennessee so damn hard, and y'all know why? Because at the time the peak was Georgia Bama. That gave us a little bit of separation. That's all it was.
Well, I think too. Sometimes you want the little guy to win too. In those situations,
stop using that. You're not little guy no more. I hate to break it to you.
No.
At
But I'm
worst
just
case
saying,
scenario, you're the second best program in the East. That's worst case scenario. That little guy routine is shot.
That's not what I'm saying though. You're missing my point. I'm saying underdog. Yeah,
there you go.
like
And yes.
that's what I meant. No, I wasn't referring. I mean, it's like it's these types of games with Bama have happened before. Ole Miss, You know, I think most people.
A&M a couple years back.
Yeah, but not just those games. I mean, there's been times where LSU is ranked like number 2 or something, and they're playing like a Mississippi State or a team that's not as highly as ranked. And you're like, you want to see you want to see the number 1 team lose. Everybody wants to see the top dog
Right.
go down.
I can
every
tell you
week.
how there's tons of people who told me, man, that game sucked in the national championship, which I loved it because it's 65-7. I think it's great, but they were pulling for TCU so hard for that underdog story, and I get it. My thing is like when you talk about the little guy, which I know that's not what you were saying. I'm gonna tell you right now, we were back-to-back national champions, number 1 in the nation. There's not a team in America right now that says, "Oh, Tennessee's our next game," and their asshole doesn't pucker. You were at that point to where all you need to do is win one more game and you're right where we're at. Like I know you probably don't see it that way being a fan and knowing the heartbreak or whatever, but Tennessee is a scary fucking opponent for everybody who has to play them.
No,
Yeah.
I know that.
They're definitely, they've moved into tier 1. Now, where you want to put them in tier 1 is subjective, but they're up there now.
Georgia, Bama, all of us are just like, all right, we'll play Tennessee. We were favored, but what the fuck does that matter in this game? That's just where it's at.
I want to see them do it one more year. Then I'm going to believe.
2032. That's going to be the year.
I need to see Tennessee. I need to see Heupel do it one more year and make me believe.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them drift back and win 7 games this year. I need to see another.
No.
I need to see 10 wins.
Our schedule's too favorable to lose that many games.
Another big wrench in Georgia that we were talking about, can they do the 3 or run the table on the regular season that people aren't talking about is Todd Monken's fucking gone. Like, I don't know if y'all realize that.
Yeah.
Mike Bobo is who we're leaning on. We tried that experiment before and failed terribly.
Yeah. He didn't do too good for us either, but we're not nearly as talented as you guys. But I got one more question I wanted to throw at you guys.
Yeah.
We got Oklahoma and Texas coming into the league again. And my question is, that's in 2024, so we still got a year to go. And we're heading quickly toward 4 super conferences of 20 teams, I think. That's definitely coming. It's just a matter of time. But
College football's going to suck, man.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be 20 teams in the SEC, the Big Ten.
That's going to be retarded.
Yeah, well, you know what's going to happen. They're turning it to the NFL playoffs. You're going to have NFC, AFC, and it's going to ruin this fucking sport that we love.
Yep.
So let me ask you guys this. Granted, now before you go, think about this. Are we going to see the SEC expand again before Oklahoma and Texas play it down in the SEC?
No.
Keep in mind, we still got over a year to go.
You got to think, man. They just did so much shit. Like ACC's battling their fucking contracts. Cincinnati and all them just joined. Oh, God, I always forget the fucking bullshit conference.
Big 12.
Big 12. Like, I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
I think we're about 3 years away from the 2 conferences. The problem I'm having with it is kind of what Carter hates at SEC Pride. I'm never going to look at Texas and Oklahoma as an SEC team. It's just not going to happen.
No.
And Texas is already trying to make suggestions how to make the SEC better. It's like, what? No.
Y'all need a Longhorn network. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. What do you think, Carter? Do you think we see more teams in the SEC before Oklahoma and Texas finally play a game?
I don't think so. Not that quick, but man,
Uh,
it's going to happen quick, guys. I'm telling you, a lot can happen in a year.
I'm about to go get me an SEC flag with the original. Well, not the original, the current teams we have.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, man. Yeah, as much as y'all, the SEC pride ain't shit to y'all. It's gonna be in the future because y'all are gonna miss this.
Hold on now.
Y'all gonna miss this shit.
You're okay. There is pride about the conference, but I don't root for the teams I hate in this conference. Like, fuck that. I mean, the SEC, even if the SEC kind of wasn't dominant, the money the conference brings in alone, I mean, dude, there's no fan. You know, I have pride as far as like how passionate this conference is, as far as the fans are. Like, I can go to an Auburn game, I can go to LSU or Georgia or wherever, and then the fans are going to be just like they are almost like, you know, in Knoxville. It's like a religious experience to these people and myself. And
Yeah, but you
that's,
say all right, the whole I don't root for them when they're playing. I understand that to an extent because a part of me, even when Georgia wasn't peaking and we were winning, 8, 9 games of Mark Rick, it was still, oh yeah, we're in the baddest fucking conference. Look how many natties we won back to back to back to back.
oh my
That's
God.
what made SEC. That whole it just means more is because of what the other elite teams were doing at the time.
I would rather not see that happen again. Like, unless my team is winning, I just can't do it. I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to watch Florida and hope they win another fucking national championship. I'm not. I'm
I'm
not
not
going to
saying you got to
watch.
hope it, but you got to appreciate the fact that it
Fuck,
helps our
fuck, I
conference.
do.
Then what's the point of being an SEC fan?
Well, dude, I think the best time, I mean, it was just as fun in the early 2000s and the mid 2000s as it is today. Maybe even funner. And it's not because my team was better then. It's just because the pride and all that was always there. It's been there. It ain't like the SEC. I mean, the SEC's always been one of the best, probably the best conference because, like I said, the pride the fans having. This isn't something new. This has been something that's been going on since the 50s and 60s and 70s. I mean, shit. I mean,
Right.
SEC football is what it is. I mean, it ain't, and whether we win 15 national championships in a row, I don't think it's going to matter.
But when we were winning championship after championship, which we still are doing, you had Clemson fans or Florida State fans shit talking. It's so easy to be like, yeah, bitch, but we got to play the national championship, the last year's national championship, the year before that's national championship. Y'all's schedule's fucking cupcakes. Y'all ain't done shit with it. This is the SEC. That comes with those teams taking it that far.
Mm.
You can't have that argument
Yeah.
without them winning.
But then all I got to say is that just look at this, okay? How well have you fared against SEC teams before this big run? Ohio State, the Ohio State beat an SEC team for the first time was like in 2012 or 13. Or I think maybe it was Alabama. Like that was the first time they ever beat an SEC team ever in history.
I get that, but what I'm saying is when you look at SEC and you hear SEC schedule, strength of schedule, it's because all these teams are playing New Year's fucking Six Bowls. If everybody had the same fucking record as a Missouri, then we're the Pac-12 at that fucking point.
But but what I'm saying is SEC's always been dominant. They just
right.
But you got to think adding this championship format has helped the SEC because the SEC is so tough even back in the 80s and 90s. And I mean, the SEC, they would beat up each other. You play in the toughest conference, it's hard to go undefeated in it. And before, I mean, they were giving national championships out before the bowl games even got played.
Mm-hmm.
And the media has always been biased towards Notre Dame and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
I'm old enough where I can I've been able to like watch the shift happen. This started what we won like 6, 7, 8 in a row as a league. From what it started with Florida.
06, 07, 08, 09, 10, 11, 12. And then,
actually, it started with LSU.
No, it started with Florida in 06.
Florida, yeah. So it kind of, it ended with Auburn getting beat by Florida State.
Right.
But we, didn't miss a beat. We kept going. I think Alabama kept, or whoever kept it going. This shift happened, and that run of the SEC is where it happened. Florida winning those titles with Tebow, LSU keeping it going, Bama keeping it going, Auburn keeping it going, and it just continued. Dude, it wasn't this way. The SEC was just another conference. I mean, they were still good. They were still good. Don't get me wrong, but
SEC still held the record for most national championships before all that, too.
I get it, but there wasn't this like
There wasn't the it's the fucking SEC attitude.
Yeah. It wasn't like that until fairly recently.
But college football wasn't even like that. I'm just saying. I don't care. I'm not gonna.
I'm-
I hope they all fucking lose except my team.
I'm not saying you should root for Bama in a national championship. Trust me, I don't. What I'm
Yeah,
saying
definitely
is
not.
there is that one positive if that fucking team you weren't rooting for does win. That's the only thing you can be like, well, fuck it. They beat us this year, and that's because they're the best in the fucking league. What's y'all's excuse for not making it? You know what I mean? That's still there. That's the only good thing you could pull out of that.
I mean, we're not saying like
to me,
wear
that's
the
like
shirt.
that's like riding coattails to me.
I mean, I think Carter's taking.
If you
it
go
to
11 and 1,
extremes.
your only loss, yeah, he is. If you're going 11 and 1 and your only loss is to Bama, Bama runs the table and wins the natty, you're not going to be like, well, fuck it. The only team who beat us was the best in the fucking nation.
I mean, I'm gonna
That's
be
not
like,
riding the coattails. That's showing you're the second best team in the nation because no one else could come fucking close to you.
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't want to brag about that.
If
No,
you have someone shit talking you, you have something to say. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying ride
We're not
Bama's
saying like wear the
coattails.
shirt and fly the
Yeah.
flag. You know, you got to wear the Georgia shirt or the Bama shirt.
I get that. I do get that. All I was saying was I'm not going to pull for another team in my conference. And I mean, I'll pull for like like certain teams, like I don't care about, like even LSU. I don't have any hatred for them really. So, I don't
If they're
mind
lined
cheering
up for a
teams
last
like
second
that.
field goal against Notre Dame and the Natty, you're gonna hope they hit it right.
Yeah, but I'm not going to pull for a Florida, Bama, or Georgia. Like, no.
Yeah, like
I'd
what
rather-
I was saying when I said that earlier, when I said there's different scenarios for the SEC that you would pull for. Missouri's taking it down the field, 10 seconds left against Georgia. You're hoping to God they pull that off, even though they're SEC and you play them every year.
I'm saying it as far as a rival standpoint. Why would I want my rival to have another thing they can hang over our heads? Fuck that.
I want to say this, Trenches, Carter. Last year I was 95% confident about Georgia. I still am, but it's lesser than years before. I'm more on the 65%, which is still pretty good, right?
I'm at 30, so yeah, you're doing great.
I'm in that 60s range, so I still think you guys are going to be good, but I wouldn't be just blown away if I just can't see Ryan Day hoisting the trophy. I can't see.
I don't think Ryan Day goes to playoffs. I think we'll get into that next week, but I think Michigan tears their heart out again.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe in Oregon. I do think Bo Nix has revived his career out there.
Yep.
That'd be the most Auburn shit in the world if he went and took it all.
Yeah, I mean he's already done. Like if he would have came out last year, they look at his stats; they're already tremendously better. He made the right decision.
They
But I bet-
showed early Heisman favorites, and he was in that list.
He's up there.
Yep.
Now I bet right now he kind of wishes Hugh Freeze was his coach. He would have. I mean, it was just a disaster. It was time for him. We didn't like him. He didn't like us. It was just time to move on. Sometimes those things happen.
Well,
He's a
the
good
level
quarterback.
of
He's a good
competition
quarterback.
is a lot
Auburn
different
was
now.
not talented. I mean, he was playing with shit. It was just unfortunate. That's all I can say.
The best troll job he could have did this season was transfer out and went straight to Bama when they needed a quarterback. That'd have been the best fucking troll job that kid could have done.
Yeah, that would have been.
Oh, he would have won the job too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He'd have beat that Notre Dame kid in a heartbeat.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback. I know it's easy to trash on him, but dude's athletic as fuck, man.
He's always give Georgia problems.
If he was not on those Auburn teams that he was on, yeah, I caught that. Those Auburn teams he was on would have won 2 games without him.
Well,
Those teams suck.
only thing holding Bo Nix back is when he's under pressure, he fucking folds. If he can get past that, God, he's elite.
He's good. He might be a good pro quarterback one day. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We wasted him. We dropped the ball with him. He just happened to come along at a time where we were.
I don't even think he's y'all's biggest waste in the last 5 years. I think Tanks Bigsby was the biggest fucking waste y'all ever used.
Yeah.
God, that motherfucker. I wanted him so bad at Georgia when he was getting recruited.
He was good. And he was loyal. Oh my God. He could have went anywhere last year. He could have went anywhere, and
He would have
stayed.
started over everybody Georgia had if he'd
Yeah.
have transferred out.
He stayed. Man, dude, yeah.
That's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah. I hope it works out for him. So yeah, it's so I'll just say, looping back around to kind of put a bow on that topic. I say let's try this. Where are we at now? 16 teams heading into 2024.
Yep.
Let's try the 16 out before we go to 20 because we're all going to 20. Big 10, Big 12, if the Big 12 survives.
It's not
Pac
going to be as
12.
fun.
We're going to have 4 super conferences of 20 teams. That's where
dumb.
it's. And then these lower divisions or lower tier schools are going to have their
Might as well
own.
move them to FCS at this point.
Pretty much, yeah. They're going to have like their own thing.
I say you take all of Pac-12 and make them play like North Dakota State and just put them Division II. Like, no one's going to give a shit. Except for, like, USC, Oregon, maybe Oregon State. Who's really going to fucking care?
Yeah. Just get them where they belong.
Yeah. Which, even then, you got to play North Dakota State. Best of fucking luck.
Yeah. They might beat some people. If North Dakota State was playing Boise State tomorrow.
North Dakota State be my pick.
Yeah.
I don't want them on Georgia's non-con schedule. And I'm not saying we'd lose to them, but they're fucking a lot better than some of these fucking Division I teams.
They could win. If they caught any of our teams or anybody else's teams on a bad day. Yeah.
I'd put right or left nut. I'd put my left nut says if they were to play in the swamp last year, they'd have beat Florida.
Yeah. It's not out of the
It's a different world, man. North Dakota State has a lock on Division II.
Mm-hmm. You guys ever thought about some of the dominant high school teams in your states?
Yeah,
No.
IMG. Yeah, fuck
Could
yeah.
could IMG go play at like a
Vandy.
Vandy?
It's a reach, but
Yeah. Okay,
IMG
let's
's
go a
so
little
fucking
lower.
true.
Let's go a little lower than Vandy, like I don't know, some
think so,
low tier
Middle
Pac-12
Tennessee
team.
State University,
Nope. Mm-mm.
You don't think so?
Memphis.
Best team in the state last year, which was
Middle
Oakland.
Tennessee beat Miami, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
Oakland High School, 6A state champions, best team in the state. They scrimmaged. They scrimmaged Bethel, okay, which is a pond scum, like as low as you can go. Besides, like the JUCO level, even though there's some of those JUCOs that are just fucking stacked.
Yeah.
Last chance U type shit, but
Jackson State. No.
and it was pretty bad.
All right, let me ask you this, Carter. It's Saturday morning, and you got IMG Academy going to play Wyoming.
No,
Hang on, pause.
Mm.
The point spread is 14 points. Does Wyoming cover?
Fuck yeah, they cover.
No fucking way in hell. There's no way.
I watched a fucking NAIA team.
But you're
NAIA. I know IMG's
Go ahead.
great, but Oakland had they had a bunch of good players on their team. They had quite a few 5 stars. It was like 60 something to nothing. Just those 70, you got to understand, as good as IMG is, IMG could probably beat NAIA level, but there's no way in hell they're going to beat a Division I FBS team. Not happening.
I think it happens.
There could be a team, yeah.
IMG, I know I'm biased because I live in Florida. IMG to me is like the elite of elite.
I'm good with it
high school.
because they're nationally known.
Yeah,
We all got those teams, right? Ours is Hoover and Thompson. Carter, what's you guys?
Oakland and Maryville.
Yeah. You got another one too.
Nope. I don't think he does.
Well, I mean, I think Oakland beat Hoover last year. So,
The IMG is one of those, which I know y'all know who they are, but like all the top boys go and recruit out of there. Now, that being said, Carter's probably right. They're probably not going to be the D1, but I think it'd be closer than people think. Like, I think they could cover maybe not 14, maybe a 21-point spread.
You don't think some of those Texas high school teams,
No.
South Lake, could roll out to South Lake rolls out to I should have done my homework on this.
They do scrimmages all the time with colleges, not big time. And, you know, it's not like you think. I mean,
What about Division II? Can they beat Division II teams?
that's, you know,
Like,
maybe.
if IMG goes up to Georgia and plays Valdosta State, who you picking on
That's-
that one?
I mean, I'd probably, I don't know.
They're definitely covering.
Yeah.
I could see that. But there's just,
Look.
I mean,
Valdosta State's got some championships under their belt, too. They're no slouches as far as their division.
oh, I don't know. I got that Titletown trophy
Mhm.
that year. I remember that. For their high school. And then, well, they did a show. There's a show on Netflix right now you can watch called Titletown High.
Really?
And it's about Valdosta. It's about the Valdosta High School. And it's got
Oh,
Rush Prost. That's where, you know, the coach at
Mm.
Hoover.
Yep.
He left and went to Valdosta High School, and he's the coach there now. And they did.
He left due to
Netflix.
controversy, right?
Huh?
He left because controversy, correct?
Yes.
And he apparently got fired at Valdosta. That's why they only did one
Yeah.
season.
Yeah, he leaves the Trail of Tears everywhere he goes.
Yeah, but it showed him and his new wife, and like, you know, he had that throat cancer or something, and he's got like that real bad scarring on his neck where they'd remove so much of his like face.
There was he was the best Hoover coach. Like, Hoover maintained a while after he left, but they never were at the level that they were at while he was there.
Dude, every
They
time
were
I hear
untouchable
Hoover-
while he was there.
Every time I hear Hoover, I think about when I was in high school and Nice had Tebow and everything, and they're like, "Oh yeah, they're gonna go play Hoover." I'm like, "Oh, they're gonna beat the shit out of the team." They got the living shit kicked out of them by Hoover.
Yeah, they were.
Mhm.
Probst had them. They were never better than they were under Probst. That's why MTV had a reality
days.
show. Yeah,
Mhm.
It was a great show.
They were now the neck that I say we. They had a good coach. The guy won a couple of titles with Hoover, but it wasn't Rush Probst level.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Slight drop off. That's all I got.
Yep.
Wipe my hands of it.
We just went right in tonight, right? We just let our heart flow out there, and
But y'all will definitely tell the more and more we get closer to it, the more and more passion we have for a certain sport.
we
Oh, and I
wanna
got a
be-
video,
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
and this is a great video, and the backstory is that Titans mini camp's going on.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's
And,
gonna
oh,
happen.
boy.
Here we go. Get ready, trenches.
Look at
Yeah.
how good Levis looks. Let's see it.
Yep. So it's all three quarterbacks: Willis, of course, Tannehill, and Levis. They're doing drills, and dude, Twitter went bonkers, and because they talked about the whole practice and all the drills. Now, mind you, they're doing these drills. There's nobody coming at them. They're not, they're not in game type scenarios. But you'll
Is
see
Peyton Manning gonna
Tannehill.
wind up in this video?
Tannehill goes first, then Willis, and then Levis. Levis
All
is number 8. Okay, so here you go.
All right.
There's Willis. Back up last year.
Nice.
And here comes boy 11.
What in the fuck?
He missed the whole damn net.
Wow! Wow, that is amazing.
He threw it
That is
over the
great.
fucking thing.
That is great. I did not expect
Oh.
that.
I thought he was going to hit all three. And it's like,
Yeah, dude. I
look
thought
how
we was
Gary.
about to, I thought Carter was about to eat a little bit of crow there on Will Levis.
No.
That was fantastic.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, dude, it Twitter blew up. Like he
Oh,
had a
shit.
really bad day on Wednesday.
Oh
Like
my
he-
God.
Like his accuracy was all over the place. Like they did drills. He threw like they're talking about Jim White who covers the Titans.
Wow.
For the Tennessean, like he was like kept throwing double coverage, and everybody, of course, is like, "Huh? If only had people predicted this." It was like,
Wow.
So I mean, look, I'm not saying that
Don't you feel like sometimes some of these NFL draft picks are
they don't know
peer
shit.
pressure? It's peer pressure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's
keep
gotta
hearing
be.
about how great this tight end is, and you got to pick him or somebody else is going to get him, right?
And the motherfucker don't know how to block and catch.
After the first pick, it's a fucking crapshoot anyway. I mean, come
It
on,
looks
let's be
like-
honest.
Looks like Tarzan plays like Jane. Yeah.
I mean, you're the second pick of the second round, and the third people you're hearing they're going, oh, if Carter's team don't get John Smith, we're definitely getting him. What do you do? You're like, I want John Smith. What?
Can we play it one more time and then exit
Absolutely.
out? I got to see that fucking throw.
That was great.
Yeah,
That was great.
Here's an extra 11-second clip
All
right
right.
here. Check this out. Oh, that's this guy right here.
Oh,
He just threw it from the 20 into the middle of the end zone, just like it was nothing. But,
fit
I
right in
noticed-
there.
I noticed just like Hooker, there was no receiver he threw it to, though.
No, there was a guy down there.
Oh, okay.
Caught it. Yeah.
All right, let's see that clip one more time. That was beautiful.
All right, so there's Tannehill. This Carter. There's Willis.
Average footwork.
Honestly, Willis looks the cleanest.
Yeah, well, them
Yeah,
lines
there's
are
some
on
good
each other.
footwork right here, right? His thighs look good. Wow. That is fucking fantastic.
Beautiful.
That
clip,
is
bro.
fantastic.
Yep.
You reverse Cartered us this week. I did. You,
Oh no, he threw Milton in there.
yeah,
they drove it
yeah.
up
I
in there.
don't know, but wow.
Guys, we'll see you next week.
Yeah. And just remember, Will Levis equals shh.